Hello, my sugar bears. Happy Tuesday. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope all of you are having a great Tuesday thus far. Thank you guys so much for watching, for commenting, and for subscribing to the channel. If you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber to the channel, thank you for being here. Excuse me. It truly means a lot. And I swear it wouldn't be me if I didn't burp on this thing. Anyway, so I wanted to come on and talk about Valentine's Day. I wanted to give a little history lesson on the origins of Valentine's Day, or the day that we celebrate Valentine's Day and why we celebrate it. So before I begin, make sure you like, make sure you comment, and most of all, make sure that you subscribe to said channel. Now, let's see, where do I start? So let me start with originally, Valentine's Day was not a holiday that we like, of course, because of commercialism and things like that. We associate Valentine's Day with love and romance, flowers and stuff. And that's partially true. But really, Valentine's Day actually was a holiday of fertility. And actually, tomorrow is the day that we actually, if you follow Greco or Hellenistic tradition, you celebrate Lupercalia, which is a holiday of fertility. It speaks to us about the coming of spring. It's kind of the precursor to spring cleaning in a way. It's a purification holiday. So you purify your home, you purify yourself. You pray to the gods of fertility. So you pray to deities such as Venus. You pray to Adonis. You pray to let me think of something. You pray to Lupa, actually, the she-wolf. You pray to, let me think of somebody else, Mars even. So, things of that nature. So that's where we get a lot of our origins from, because Valentine's Day originally started as a fertility holiday, fertility and purification. And if I have the Mars thing wrong, please somebody correct me. Feel free, because let me say this before I go any further. I am by no means an expert, okay? I just like to read, and I try my best to impart the knowledge that I know to you. Okay, so now, in terms of where we get Valentine, like, the name Valentine. So basically what happened was, once the Catholic Church came into power, they then turned a lot of ancient pagan festivals into Christian holidays. So, case in point, we just celebrated Candlemas, but for those of you who practice the Catholic tradition, it's the Feast of St. Bridget, right? Now, so in terms of Valentine's Day, actually, the name Valentine, it comes from three different people, three different saints who are all martyrs. And if you know anything about martyrdom, then you know what I'm talking about. We don't have to go into that. But so basically what happened was that they realized that when the Roman soldiers would go to war, right, they would often miss their wives and their kids. So one of the Roman emperors, I believe it was Claudius, he outlawed marriage. And he was like, nope, if you're going to go to war, you're not permitted to get married. Now, here's where the Valentine's thing comes in. So one of the other, I think he was an actual pope. He was like, you know what? No, I don't agree with that. I think the law is foolish. So I'm going to perform your marriages and things in secret. That's where the love thing came in. So it's like, I'll perform your marriages and um, your weddings in secret. He won't have to know. Unfortunately, he did find out, and unfortunately, this person was put to death. And this happened. We get the name Valentine's Day, or Valentinus, from these particular three. I believe they were popes. I believe, I'm not 100%, but we get it from these three people, according to what I've been reading on history.com. Let's see. Yes, because it was Emperor Claudius II who decided that single men made better soldiers than those with wives and families. So he outlawed marriages for young men. Valentine, realizing the injustice of the decree, defied Claudius and continued to perform marriages for young lovers in secret. When Valentine's actions were discovered, Claudius ordered that he be put to death. Still, others insist that it was Saint Valentine of Tyranny, a bishop, who was the true namesake of the holiday. He too was beheaded by Claudius II outside of Rome. Let's see. Wow, so this is really interesting. And then where we get like the Valentine's Day cards and things like that, we get Valentine's Day cards, believe it or not. That comes from the Victorian era. Um, that comes from, because think about it, back in the day, that was a way to write things down in secret. That was a way to kind of make keepsakes. And then it just became popular. And I think it wasn't until maybe the 1950s that Valentine's cards became what they are now. That's kind of like where Hallmark took over. And it was started by a woman, I believe she was in Massachusetts. I'm not 100%, but I think so. Her name escapes me, but I believe that's where she was from. And it started, because of course, traditions sometimes fade, but then they get picked back up. And the commercialization of Valentine's cards started in the 1950s. So really, Valentine's Day is a mix of many different faiths, many different um, traditions. You have Roman, you have Greek, you have um, Victorian, you have a lot of different things. You have some Catholic faith in there, you have some paganism in there, but it really doesn't matter how you celebrate. What really matters is what you choose to do. Like what you choose to do, and what works for you, because Valentine's Day is not just about love of other people, but it's also about love of self. So I would definitely make sure to, if you can, cheer yourself up. I did that, get yourself up, get yourself together, wear the Valentine's Day colors. That's why I got on my red today. Invoke passion in your life in some way, shape, or form. Talk to a good friend who inspires you. Talk to hell, right now, your wishes and dreams for your Valentine's Day, like your Valentine's Day wishes, your goals. What goals of self-love do you want to see happen for you? Write those down or voice them out, say them out loud, speak it, speak it into the universe or the omniverse or whatever you choose to call it. Give yourself a love reading. If you want a love reading, give me a ring, child. Call me up. Go to my website, psychicview.com. I'll give you a love reading. If you want a love coaching session, same thing. And yes, it is a shameless plug, but why not? Okay. And let's see here. I want to see what else we got going on. I want to give, let's see. Okay. Yes. So now I'm going to go back to the beginnings of Valentine's Day, which is where the pagan festival comes in at. So we have Lupercalia, celebrated at the Ides of February or tomorrow, which is February 15th. Lupercalia is a fertility festival dedicated to Faunus, the Roman god of agriculture, as well as to the Roman founders, the founders of Rome, Romulus and Remus. To begin the festival, members of Lucarabli, an order of Roman priests, will gather at a sacred cave where the infants of Romulus and Remus, the founders of Rome, were believed to have been cared for by a she-wolf or lupa. The priests will sacrifice a goat for fertility, which makes sense, and a dog for purification. They would strip the goat's hide into strips, dip them into the sacrificial blood. Okay, I know this is a little morbid. And take to the streets, gently slapping both women in crop fields with the goat hide. Far from being fearful, Roman women welcomed the touch of the hides because it was believed to make them more fertile in the coming year. Later in the day, according to legend, all the young women in the city would place their names in a big urn. The city's bachelors would choose a name and become paired for the year with his chosen man. These matches often ended in marriage. See? So, let's see here. So as you can see, Lupercalia, it went through a lot of changes. It went through Christianity, things like that. It wasn't until maybe the end of the 5th century when Pope, what does it say? Let's see. Gal- Galicius declared February 14th as St. Valentine's Day. It was not much until later, it wasn't until much later, however, that the day became definitely associated with love. During the Middle Ages, it was commonly believed in France and England that February 14th was the beginning of the birds' mating season, which added to the idea that the middle of Valentine's Day should be a day for romance. The English poet Geoffrey Chaucer was the first to record St. Valentine's Day as a day of romantic celebration in his 1375 poem Parliament of Toulouse, writing, "For this was sent on St. Valentine's Day, when every fowl cometh there to choose his mate." So, and then let's see here. And then where we get the Valentine's Day cards, a lot of that started in the Middle Ages. A lot of that started in like the middle of the 18th century. Handwritten notes, small tokens. That's kind of where we get the chocolates, things like that. It wasn't until the 1840s, Esther A. Howell. Okay, this is where I got it mixed up, so I was wrong. So, Esther A. Howland began selling the first mass-produced Valentines in America. Howland, known as the mother of the Valentine, made elaborate creations with real lace, ribbons, and colorful pictures known as scrap. Today, according to Hallmark, an estimated 145 million Valentine's Day cards are sent each year, making Valentine's Day the second largest card sending holiday of the year. More cards, and of course, Christmas is number one. So it was actually, what is her name? Esther A. Howland, who made the Valentine's Day card what we know of today. So I think it's kind of neat to know these origins. I think it's really interesting to know, why we celebrate what we celebrate, why we do what we do. And now my thing was to glitch, but that's okay. Okay, well, why we celebrate what we celebrate. And it also shows that love is universal because it's not just in America that we celebrate Valentine's Day. It's Mexico. It's the Greek, the Grecian Isles. It's England. It's France. It's all over the world. We all have different customs, but the point is, we all make room for love. And I'm a firm believer. I love love. Okay. I'm a firm believer that without love, we cease to be, in my opinion. Love is the most powerful feeling in the world to me. But that's just myself. So that is my video on the origins of Valentine's Day. I hope you guys are having a great Valentine's Day, whether you're single, married, open, monogamous, polyamorous, whatever you are, whatever relationship type you have, celebrate it. You know what I mean? Love the life you have, love yourself, and most of all, love this world, though it can be very unbalanced and crazy. Okay. And I want to know before I end this video, what are some of your Valentine's Day customs? What do you do for Valentine's Day? Is it just another day for you? How do you celebrate this Valentine's Day? I know for a lot of people, it's kind of like melancholic, but how do you guys celebrate it? What are some customs that you've done, or what are some customs that you've learned to do, over the years? Leave it in the comments below. So until next time, my sugar bears, I thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was fun and informative, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Have a wonderful Valentine's Day and a great week, and we'll see each other very soon. Okay? Bye-bye.